Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to you all. Trust you are having a powerful and productive week. We have a class scheduled today. So I'm really excited about this because, people have been thinking about, the pandemic, COVID, the market's going to tank. We'll talk a little bit more about that today in full in classroom style. Before I do that, I want to just say shout out to those of you who are catching us on our radio podcast everywhere. It's more easier for me to say now on all platforms. I do have to say that I really like what Spotify is now doing with their platform. If you are a creator such as myself and you are presenting and sharing your show, your content via video, Spotify now allows you to view that. So it's not just audio, which I love. I absolutely love that. And so now it's video on Spotify, which has been known for radio, and now they're joining YouTube and Facebook Watch and all these other platforms that are bringing video content. Woohoo! Stoked and excited. All right. So even though the show is free, y'all know the price of admission. Press one lets me know I'm here. Drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're from. How are you? What are your real estate goals for 2022? And press two lets me know that you shared it. Okay. Press two lets me know that you've shared it. I also want to say shout out to my brother, Evan Jefferson of the ERGJ. I know we are streaming in the ERGJ group or channel/platform. And so the only caveat with that is what I've noticed is I may not be able to see all content, but that's okay. Brother Dean is in the building. Happy New Year to you, or happy 2022, I should say. And I like this avatar, the picture, your updated profile. Okay, you fancy. He says two. I've shared it, so he already knows. Price of admission is let me know you're here. Two, please share it. Go ahead and empower some folks. He's from Pennsylvania. Brother Dean, you're going to really like this because I know you work with the youth and the young adult community. So I will show you some tools today that you can use to possibly sign up as a what we call a credit smart coach. And so you can get a certification. They want to know, who you are and who your outreach group is. So this is great because I know there's a lot of credit people out there, and I'm not knocking everybody's hustle because that's what it is. It's a hustle. I'm gonna call it for what it is. You're paying someone $89.99 a month when you could do all of this on your own. But if you want to accelerate results much faster, then you pay for convenience. That's what it is. You are paying for the service and the convenience to have someone else do it. But at some point, I implore you, learn this stuff so that you could be on your path to building your wealth and your legacy. Woo woo. I'm going to borrow that. Woo woo. I'm going to borrow that. I trust your family and everyone's well. So please share my love, my hugs, and my hellos to everyone out in Penn State in Pennsylvania. Haven't been there in a while. I definitely have got to take my husband and my family so they can kind of see what my journey's been like as we expanded the Real Estate 100 movement, which now we're the Ready Set Real Estate Youth Club. So we've had to reorganize and kind of pull back a little as well. All laughs. Yeah, it's all laughs. We're having a good time here. Okay, so make sure you have the pen, paper ready, your notebooks. Again, this is a live class. So the good news is while I'm on, I can answer those questions, and feel free to pause me. Even if you've attended any of my sessions, my trainings, or my class, you know that it's not important for me to finish through the presentation or the class or the slide or get to the end. It's more important for me to get the information to you. Thank you. He says, congratulations on the union. Yes. As you can see, I'm all smiles and I'm all happy. Yes. Hello, Yosha Nagali Scott. Peace. Nagale. She says, great. I'm trying to refinance. Okay, perfect. We can talk about that through the session. Like I said, drop what state you're in. I am in California. I'm a licensed. Let me just give you the blurb and the spiel because you may be new to me, right? You may be new to Ready Set Real Estate, and I am glad you are here. My name is Lisa Gillett, also known as Lisa Puerto. If you look me up, I will be under Lisa Puerto, Puerto, as the algorithms kind of get caught up with my new name change. But I'm still Super Agent, also known as LA Super Agent, on all platforms and handles. Uh, Founder, creator of Ready Set Real Estate, which is our show and podcast. Formerly founder of Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, which was our nonprofit arm. But again, we've dissolved that and we've redone that under Ready Set Real Estate for various reasons. It's just easier, y'all. It's just easier. That nonprofit game is it's another beast. And my lane is real estate. I want to stay in that lane. So we're still doing our youth work and our youth curriculum. Again, we teach ages 10 and up, so really 10 and 24. But as I'm finding this, I have older clients that are in their 80s, and they're like, you need to create classes for us. So I no longer want to be exclusionary to who I am teaching, because if it's like minds of a babe, right? If you are open and ready, willing, and able to receive, then this information is for you. So I'm excited about all of that. Okay, good. Looks like we got a good class today. Yosha says, awesome. Andre Wise is in the building. He says, good morning. Good morning, Andre. Wonderful to have you all. So we're going to jump in here. So today's segment of the show is, let me get, what are we talking about, Lisa? How to buy a HUD home. That's what session is today. How to buy a HUD home. And I'm going to drop that down at the bottom. Again, I'm going to leave this here. You know the rules. Press 1 lets me know you're here. 2 means you shared it, right? 1, you're here. 2, you shared it. All right. Let's see. I'll try to keep today's class to about 30 minutes, because sometimes I know I can go, y'all, because this is my lane. I can go. So I realize we're going to have to break this up, because I was going over the notes and I was going over how I wanted to do this. And I just want to be really hands-on today, because when I turn this off and now you're left with your paper, pen, and pad and tablet, you're going to be like, what did she say? Where do I go? So I'm very visual and I want to walk us through this. Okay, so let's do this. We are going to, I'm going to borrow the chat box real quick. I'm going to jump in the chat box, and I want you to make note of this website. Okay, this is where we are going to learn from today. It's hudhomestore.gov. hudhomestore.gov. They've changed their website from hudhomestore.com. They are now hudhomestore.gov. Got it? hudhomestore.gov. Okay, let's go ahead and share this screen. Boom. Ta-da! Okay, this is where I'm at. This is where we're going to learn from hands-on, because this is where your home search is going to start anyway, is on here. So I want to walk us through here. And what's really neat is that you'll see in the right-hand corner, thank you, right, exactly. Wonderful. Love it. I love it when people come in here and help a sister out. I need help because I've got to do all kind of different things. I got like 3 monitors here, all the fun gadgets and stuff and tools. So please, yes, if you find something noteworthy, if I say write this down, yes, I appreciate it. Yosha, is it Yosha? Miss Scott. There it is. Miss Scott, please help me out and drop those in the comments. I really appreciate it. All right, so we are at hudhomestore.gov. We are on the website. So the question has been, and I'll give you some context. So the context here is, during the pandemic, there has been some she says long O, Yosha. Perfect. Nailed it. I always want to get people's names right, because I've spent most of my life people chopping up my last name, and I thought they would get my married name a lot more easier, but it's funny. Names are something. but take the time to learn, right? Take the time to learn. It's a sign of respect. Okay, so what I wanted to bring us in context with, right? So we are in year 3 of this COVID global pandemic. And so some of you have been on the fence, right? If you haven't purchased and you've been like, this market, I don't know, the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash, and you're looking for the news for the market's going to crash, but instead the opposite has happened, right? If you've been active in the business or you've been thinking about looking, and what did you see over 3 years? Now we're in year 3. So this 2 full years, what have you seen? Prices have gone through the roof. OMG is crazy. Crazy. The amount of appreciation in equity that people have realized. And I'll give you an example. In 2020, I sold a home for $325,000. And this was in a pocket in a city or town in California called Palmdale. Back in the day, it used to be 110,000, right? And now we got to threes. And it still was one of those quote unquote affordable areas within the LA County area, right? So it was still affordable. You'd have to make a commute, right? It's about an hour and 15 going and coming both ways to get back into the town. And so it's on the outskirts. So 325, 2020, we closed escrow in March of 2020. And then what happened? 2021, my client said, I've been checking online and I think I want to sell this house. It says my house is now worth $440,000. And that was accurate. If I put his home on the market, he would likely get closer to about 500,000. Easy. So what did he spend? What did he pay? He paid 325 in 2020. And now it's 2022. And he's going to realize quite a gain because that's what he wants to do. It was a starter home. He said, this is what I can get. I'm going to step in, use the FHA insured loan. Keyword here, FHA. Drop that in the comments because we are going to talk about FHA extensively today. I've talked about it last week and I went into this whole thing, and I apologize for those of you who I'm confused because I was talking about multifamily, duplex, and FHA and all that other stuff people talk about, house hacking. Good afternoon, Glenda. Wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining us. We are having a class today on how to buy a HUD home. Okay, bringing us back. So here we are, we're at the website. So one of the key things, we can go in 2 ways. And let's say you started with, let's say you're doing the search on your own. And I have to give this disclaimer that you've got to work with a HUD registered broker to submit your offer to purchase a HUD home. Who's a HUD registered broker? Someone like me. I've actually had to submit an application and qualify with requirements that my business and background and my license, et cetera, are current so that I can participate in the buying and the selling of HUD property. Okay, so you've got to work with a registered HUD broker. So let's quickly say we'll start here, okay? And so, and notice here on this website, tons of resources, right? Tons of resources. Notice here we've got the, I'm going to use this screen. So notice here we've got this, what we call, let's see, can I highlight it? Oops. Good Neighbor Next Door. It used to be the teacher, firefighter, that program. It's still the same. It's now called the Good Neighbor Next Door program. And then you've got HUD approved nonprofits, because have you heard those stories where people were purchasing properties for $1? Notice here, $1 homes, government sales. Oh, what? Yeah, exactly. Those are for particular entities, right? And this is why I want to come on here, because we've watched the market just literally pop. What has happened is the market popped, interest rates gone up, So a good percentage of buyers have been now what? Left out of the market. A good percentage have been left out of the market. What HUD does, they are aiming to assist more first-time home buyers to get into their primary residence. What does that mean? The first days, and it's if I'm not, I've got to review my notes. I want to say it's the first 10 days. It's a first look period is what we call first look period. Drop that in the comments. Jump over here. First look period is for first-time home buyers and nonprofits. Good afternoon, Barry. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Great having you. So you've got the first look period, first-time home buyers and nonprofits in that first look period. This is a great opportunity. Why? Because could you imagine what's happening in this open market where they don't care whether you're a first-time buyer, they're not concerned about your home certificate program, they're not concerned with any of that. In fact, the open market is, it's a beast, right? It's who gets there first, who writes their offer first, who's removing contingencies first, who's doing all this crazy stuff first and at the highest price, right? Highest and best. But when you're working with a registered HUD broker and you're purchasing a HUD home, guess what? This is designated for you to purchase in that first look period before they go through first-time home buyers, nonprofits, and then investors / everyone else. They open it up to everyone else. All right. So good. Keeping up so far, drop a comment, press 1, lets me know you're here and that you're keeping up. All right, that you're keeping up, because I don't want to go ahead of you. I want to make sure we are here. Let me know you're here. Everything is resonating. We've got tons of notes already because I've talked about FHA, working with a HUD approved broker. HUD, let's say, thank you all. Great. Andre says keeping up. Okay, so working with a HUD registered broker. And where we know that is right here. So I'm going to show you real quick. I love that. I'm in California. And so you would say, okay, oh, see, that's homes. Broker search up here. Let me go back. So let's go back to the home page. These are our tabs. The NID portal. This is where professionals like myself, we log in to submit our information and or the offer there and check the status right here. Then there's broker search. Find a registered HUD broker. Notice what it says. This is not Lisa making up the rules. It says right here, to make a bid on a HUD home, you will need to use what? A HUD registered selling broker. You need to what? You need to use a HUD registered selling broker, a professional like myself. Okay. So it says use your screen to find a HUD registered selling broker in your area. So put company name if you know the company name. If not, go to state, select California, your city. Right. So Gardena, 90248 zip code. Right. Let's see what pops up. There's a couple companies here. So my company, Devenio Estates, that's me. You've got Edwin, you've got Erlene, Norio, and me again. I'm on there twice for some reason. Might be special. Go figure. So let's get back to home search, okay? So now I want to, my cousin's in the building. Shout out to Andrea. And she's tagging. That means Carol, you need to jump on. Geraldine, you need to jump on. She's tagging on TV. Carla, you need to jump on. All right, cool. I always appreciate when family's supporting. I just can't, my family's from Belize, and I should say I'm native from Belize, right? I was made there, but born here in Cali, hence LA super agent. But really great. I did a video about land and what's happening in real estate there. So whole nother conversation, whole nother show. Okay, so now we've got what? We know the rules. We need to work with a HUD registered broker. And where do we find that? Use the broker search tab. Okay, that's where we go. So use your broker search tab. And the reason why I'm pointing that out, because there's a couple steps to getting to purchasing a HUD home and submitting a bid. Now let's talk about that. I love this part right here because you can search properties. So some of you may say, what kind of properties can I buy? Let's use Pennsylvania. Let's see, Penn State's in the building. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Brother Dean, what county? Give me a county out there. Delaware? You guys have Delaware County? Delaware? Is that how I spell Delaware? In Pennsylvania? Okay, nothing Delaware, maybe too specific. Let's just open it up. If I just do Pennsylvania, so Bucks County, Philadelphia County, he says Dauphin. Okay, yeah, so we're in Philadelphia. Let's use Philadelphia. Let's filter our search to Philadelphia. Boom. Only one in Philadelphia County, or 87,000. 87,000. Good stuff. Or York. Okay, so let's look at this, and you can save this. And once you do that, it's going to ask you to save your search, create account, etc. Right? But this is what I want you to pay attention to. This exclusive period. This is what we want. The exclusive period says it is only open to owner occupants, nonprofits, and government agencies only. Wouldn't you love to not have to compete with everybody else? Wouldn't you love that? It says bid open date January 20th. Go figure. The bidding starts tomorrow. Love it, right? 87,000. So here we are. Let's look at the property specs, case numbers. And that's one thing you'll notice with FHA insured loans. When you're dealing with FHA, it's a government backed program. You will see that they have case numbers assigned to it. How many like this information already? How many are excited about learning this, that there's a possibility for you to get your foot in the door? You don't have to compete. And guess what? You will also get up to 3% in closing cost credit that you can request by way of your registered HUD broker. So they can assist you. They can give you what is called repair credits or create a repair escrow. Oftentimes, some of these properties need work. They'll allocate a dollar amount and say, we're willing to work with you, right? Because the goal is to get you into the property. It's no good for them to hold it and keep it. It's not how that works. So I love this, right? So let's look at this. I think we're probably, I'm 23 minutes in, so we're going to go for another like 15 minutes and we'll continue. We're going to continue. We've got a full class today. Wow. A lot of you are on. Appreciate you all sharing this. So let's talk about the case number, property details. Notice here, eligible bidders. Who is that? Anybody in here run a nonprofit? Anyone in here looking to purchase this as an owner occupancy, meaning primary residence, you are going to live in it. That's where the benefit comes in at, okay? Let me get caught up with these comments. So Brother Dean says, need that, love it, awesome. Andre says, yes, helpful. Brother Dean says, I do. So, okay, New Freedom works. So guess what? Properly, if you're ready to go, you work with a HUD counselor and a registered broker, your nonprofit can purchase this property. Mind blown. What? Yes, you are considered in the exclusive period, meaning for a limited amount of days only those individuals who are seeking to purchase this property as their primary residence or a nonprofit or a government agency can purchase this property. Let's look at the specs here. Let's continue. These are all the important information, right? So submission deadline. What is that? So submission deadline, January 19th at 11:59, right? So that's pretty much midnight. Bid submission time remaining 0 days, 10 hours. Oh, excuse me. So it was the other way around. So it's actually we're already at the time where it's ending. That exclusive period is ending to submit. So you've got 10 hours left. Yep, tonight, pretty much. Woo, tonight. So now that you know, see, Brother Dean, as we're talking and you're looking for your county, you can get ready, consult with the team, and check back to see what the county pops up, or another county. We specified, we filtered out Philadelphia. I think this was Philadelphia County. Okay, let's continue. I love this. I love this. So amenities, let's go back into it. So here we have the address, bed and bath. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, total rooms 5. It's 960 square feet, built in 1966. It's a single family, 1-story, no HOA fees. So HOA or homeowners association. So there are no fees. Is it in the revitalization area? It says no. Is it in an opportunity zone? It says no. FEMA flood zone? No, which is good on the FEMA flood zone. Okay, let me get to the listing information. Oh, this is where I like to pay attention to. So list date, January 10th. Thank you, Ebony, for sharing. Price of admission. Let me know you hear it till you shared it. Thank you. Welcome. So here we have list date, January 10th. Today is the 19th, correct? We're still on the 19th. So the exclusive period is what? 9 to 10 days, like I said. That's it. 10 days, exclusive period for whom? Property owners, nonprofits, and government agencies. That means there aren't going to be too many people, right, that you've got to compete with and worry about that overbid. These are those that are going to be in the same pool like you. All right. Love it. Listing period. Exclusive right here. That's where we see. It's an period deadline, January 24th. List price $87,000. This is what we want to pay attention to right here. This FHA financing section, insured escrow. So we like this insured escrow because what that means is they are willing to offer those repair credits, right? They are willing. They already sent their property preservation team out to the property to inspect the condition of the property. They've already sent their asset managers information about what the specs are, what's the condition of the property. Will this property be eligible for a regular FHA 203H is what it's called, is what you know as, right? 203, B. But no, it's not the regular 203, FHA loan. But in fact, it's eligible for what is called the 203K. So drop that in the comments, please. 203K is a rehab loan. Is a rehab loan. And there's two types. Thanks, Ebony. Miss Campbell's in the building. She said she shared. All right, so there's two types. 203K rehab loan, and there's two types. You've got the rehab loan up to $25,000. Actually, I want to do something real quick. Give you time to take those notes. So yes. $35,000. So this is our streamline. Okay. So you already get in a standard 203K loan up to $35,000. This is a rehab loan that's rolled into the purchase price. So $87,000. And let's say you do need up to the $35,000 in rehab money. So now let's do some math. That means you would need to qualify for the purchase price of 85,000 plus, right? Plus the rehab loan of 35,000. What's that math? Right? So this property says it is 203K eligible, needs some work. It will not qualify for regular financing, right? Because there needs some work. So let's do the math. 85,000 plus 35,000. So you need to qualify for 120,000 is what your purchase power should be. Okay? 120,000. So let's put that up. Purchase price 85,000 plus the rehab loan of 35,000. That means all rolled in one. You have the purchase price and your rehab money. And guess what? I must admit, those are more favorable rate in terms than going to get a Home Depot card or some loans card, credit card, or some other second loan or private money to try to do the work for the rehab. All right. Who's with me? Is this helping? Can I get a 100 if this is helping? Yes? Head nods. Thumbs up. Drop a thumbs up if we're keeping up with this math real quick. Because this property in particular is in our example for today, means we've had to qualify not just for the purchase price. And I put 85,000 versus 87,000. You see, I'm already trying to negotiate $2,000 off for you. Right. So great question. Brother Dean says that's if you win the bid, right? Right. So if you submitted, the list price is 87,000, but in my example, I'm saying 85,000, right? So if we submitted a bid at 85,000, that means you have to show a pre approval from a direct lender, meaning you've already ironed out the financing. You cannot submit an offer without having ironed out your financing. Why? Because you will lose your money. You will lose your deposit. And we're going to talk about that shortly. We'll talk about deposit shortly. Great question. Any other questions? Because we're talking about an FHA insured loan, but in this case, this property needs work. How do I know that? How do I know that? Guess what? We look right here. The minute it says that it's 203K eligible or an insured escrow, that means this property needs work. See it here on the right hand, I'm under listing information. They will give you other amenities, parking, foundation type, basement, unfinished. Any addendums? This is what, and this is a package. These are a whole bunch of package. I mean, this is pretty involved. And notice here, first time buyer, what is it saying? Go find you a broker. Go find, see it here? Go find a broker. First time buyer, find a broker. HUD registered bidder, submit an offer. That means for the professional. If I am a HUD registered broker, I have a client that's ready to go. We've got our package ready. We've completed our disclosures, and all of these need to be completed. And it has to be completed in full. I's dotted, T's crossed. It is tedious in terms of the paperwork, but that is my job and my team's job as a professional to make sure all that paperwork is submitted. Gives you map information. I like that. Tells us where we are. And then agent info brings us back to the listing broker, right? So who the listing broker is. Rain and Company, that's who's assisting. The field service manager, this is the company that has gone out to inspect and give a bid or estimate on the required work, at least to bring that property to a habitable condition. HUD homes usually are concerned with safety, health and safety. Think about that. When you think FHA, health and safety, VA loans, health and safety. Why? Because you are to live in it. It needs to be in habitable condition, right? Habitable condition. Okay, let's pause here. how we're doing. I'm going to check in with everyone. Andre says, peace and blessings to everyone. Thank you. Wonderful. Check in with everybody. Let everyone catch up. I know you're typing and I'm talking, so I can move faster than you can. Okay. So I mentioned something about a deposit. And you will have to submit a deposit along with your accepted offer. They will notify me via the portal / email. It will come through that the offer was accepted, and we've got 3 business days to get the deposit in. I've got to deliver that deposit to the listing broker. If that deposit is not delivered and received by the listing broker within the time, you lose your offer. You lose the bid, and then it opens back up again. And then HUD gets to renegotiate. The asset manager who's representing the bank, who's representing HUD, gets to renegotiate the next offer. All right. Now, let me go back real quick. And you may say to me, well, how did this property become a HUD home? Great question. These are properties that are FHA insured. This is an FHA inventory that was foreclosed on. When the FHA insured loan was defaulted by the homeowner, meaning due to COVID, hint, hint, due to a pandemic, hint, hint, they've lost their job, someone's passed away, there's been an economic financial hardship, they no longer can keep the home. The bank then forecloses on it, and it was backed by FHA. That means they submit a claim to the FHA insurer. FHA is an insurer, not a lender. I'll say that again. FHA is an insurer, not a lender. What they are insuring is the risk of default. Why? Because FHA is allowing you or assisting first-time buyers to purchase property by putting just 3.5% down. FHA insured loan. Down payment is 3.5%. If I can just get my 3.5%. Let's do some quick math here. So you say to me on this property, it's $87,000. Let's do our example. So $87,000, 3.5% down is $3,000. $3,000. So the down on $87,000 purchase price the down payment is 3.5%. That is $3,000. You didn't know I was going to have you do math today, huh? You've got to. You come on. This is class. Class is in session. So on an $87,000 purchase price, that's this particular property here, right? So its list price is $87,000. So the down payment, meaning what you've got to bring to the table, your vesting, your financial investment in this property is going to be what? $3,045. That just covers your down payment. There are closing cost fees to be factored in, right? So those closing cost fees can be upwards of 2.5% or easily another 3%. Okay, so let's do 3% just to make it safe. So that's $26,000 for closing costs. So closing costs estimated at 3%. So that's an additional $2,610. But guess what? When you are working with your HUD registered broker, they know they can ask for closing costs, for those closing costs to be paid, and they can ask for 3%. which means you only would then need to only have to bring the $3,045 to the table, and they will cover the closing cost of 3%, but you've got to ask for it, and it's got to be stipulated in your contract. You don't ask, you don't get. You don't ask, you don't get. All right. Make sure you're asking for those closing costs to be paid by the seller. Now, this has been a really brutal market for buyers. Fortunately for me, I've noticed the market has been shifting slightly. So, not too many outrageous bidding, not too many people. I think buyers have now have what is called buyer fatigue, meaning they've experienced so many outbidding wars and they've been looking for a long time and they just have given up. So sellers are kind of like, uh-oh, where are all the buyers? They're not as aggressively overbidding on my property anymore. You're right. So buyers are now giving a little bit more incentive. For example, they're willing to give you the repair credits. They're willing to assist on your closing cost credits. I just closed a transaction and I got $15,000 back in closing cost credits for my buyer. So what does that mean? That means they brought less out of pocket to the table. Can you say win-win? Win? Just hashtag winning. Hashtag winning. In a seller's market, I was able to get 15,000. Okay. So we covered that in short. So here, how's our time? 42 minutes. I'm going to pause here and we will bring this back next week. Let's continue. Okay, so any more questions and comments for today? We talked about the HUD site, hudhomestore.gov. We talked about FHA insured loans, 203K rehab loans. Just in case the house needs work, do not be dissuaded. Don't be turned off that, oh, this house needs work. It's okay. Notice in this picture, you've got some missing cabinets. There might be some stuff unfinished in the bathroom based on what I'm seeing. Different things going on. But guess what? When you do your inspection, that's when you know. We're going to cover more about that. For now, this is where we're going to start this segment of HUD Homes. Okay, so we are at the HUD Home store. This is where we start. And we're talking about making sure you have your financing in place before you submit your offer. If you work with a HUD registered broker, they will make sure they connect you with those lender partners that can assist you with purchasing. All right. How are we feeling about this so far? Good stuff? Yeah? Thumbs up? Brother Dean says, awesome, awesome sauce. Perfect, perfect. Next week, we're going to talk about this. Freddie Mac Credit Smart. Brother Dean, this is where this would be very helpful for you because guess what? Give you free education here, right? Credit essentials. Those of you who need to learn how to manage your credit, how to elevate your credit, how to build your credit, you can do this all on your own. And they've got this great resource right here. It says financial capability courses for general learners and consumers. I am completing the Credit Smart Coach because I teach and train and I do all these outreach to the youth in the community. So I want to be a little certified too. So Brother Dean, you may want to sign up here as for your nonprofit as a Credit Smart Coach. Okay. I checked that they've got the next cohort is beginning, opens up March for the April-June cohort. Okay. But for the rest of you all as individual consumers, and just wanting to empower yourselves, because that's what this show is about. It's about empowerment. You can go ahead and take the Credit Smart Essentials, okay? Brother Dean says, looking forward to it. Yes, Glenda says, awesome, perfect, excellent. Looking forward to catching up. Yep, there's been a lot. I'm telling you, I've been watching so much, and there's so much going on in this industry that I've got a whole, again, with real estate, you've got a whole lifetime of content. This show will run forever as long as I have a host that will take over at some point. All right. With that, I say have a powerful and productive day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Also save it, add it to your collection. Make sure that you are adding Ready Set Real Estate to your favorite podcasts. We air every Wednesdays, 11 Pacific time on all your favorite platforms. And again, I'm your host, Lisa Gillett. I will see you next week, same time, same place, with another information-packed episode on Ready, Set, Real Estate. You're so welcome, Fredericks. Thank you. Awesome, y'all. Good show. Good stuff.